Welcome to a very special video. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. Well, maybe just me, actually. But nevertheless, today is my very first video, and I'd like to show you my 1,000 hour project. First things first, let's start at the beginning. I've been playing Minecraft for about 4 years, and about a year ago I decided I would start a Minecraft YouTube channel because I've always wanted to, but I actually wanted to challenge myself first. I've always loved playing vanilla survival on hard, so I figured I'd do a solo world and see how much I could get done in 1,000 hours. Honestly, I didn't get as much done as I thought I would, but you know, Minecraft, you get sidetracked. So, yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so you'll see I have some ender pearls in my inventory. We are going to attempt to throw it, I believe, 100 blocks to get an achievement we have not gotten yet. So let's see if we can do that. Hopefully that does it. Um, We should see a notification with an achievement pop up here in just a second. If that was 100 meters, I don't know if it was. So maybe let's try and get on top of a mountain. I feel like that's the best way to do it. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just do it while we're flying. Oh, there we go. All right. So now we're going to land in the ocean, I believe. That's fun. Yep, okay. So the reason that we did that is we want to show that this world has never actually been opened in creative. The reason I think that's so important is there's just something so satisfying about knowing that every single block here has been mined out of the ground, crafted, and then placed all by hand. So we're going to start showing off this world at the front gate. So yeah, let's just get into it. The entrance here you can see has quite a bit of lava. As you may have noticed, this channel is called Lava Craft, and I am Lava Lad. So you'll be seeing a lot of lava. Okay, so we have our grand entrance, lots of fire, lots of lava. Over here is actually our left side stable, where we keep all of our skeletal horses. It looks like one has gotten out, so we're going to have to go grab that guy. Let's see, he's on a lead. Oh, maybe we'll just take him with us for now. Okay, so that is the left side. Here's the right. You can see these stalls are still empty. We do have several regular horses. We have a lot more to catch. We try to grab the ones with the best stats. I believe all of these can go pretty fast and jump pretty far. So we'll save that for another episode. Today we're just showing off the base. Alright, so that is our stable area going straight into the castle. Okay, so before we get into this base area, the castle, the monster, we're actually going to be touring the aerial view of the whole city. So over here is kind of unfinished. It's some newer builds I've been working on. I'm not sure if we're going to stick with this nether brick and kind of white smooth stone pattern. I'm not sure if that works, so let me know in the comments down below. Over here was our third and final working villager breeder. Nothing special. Eventually we're going to be putting some more farms down here in our giant quarry. So this is the very first district we started work on, and it's actually probably got the least amount of work done. So we'll have to finish that up in another episode or work on it because it's going to take several. But you can kind of see that right over here from the sky. One more thing in this area I'm going to show you is something I'm pretty happy with. This is just a little monument. This is just showing off some of our achievements, like killing the Ender Dragon, getting some nethers, Getting some heads. Yep, just our head garden. Alright. But I like this area a lot. It's probably got a little bit more work to do, but we're going to leave it like this for now and come back to that someday. Alright, so the next area is the only area that's almost fully finished, and that is our farming district. The reason that we finished this farming district up first was so that we could go grab some items if we ever needed it. So here's an aerial view. It's this right here. You can farm almost every item in the game. Over there we have our cocoa beans. Here's just our general crops. We don't actually use that area right here for wheat, carrots, potatoes, and beetroot. Over here is just a wheat plantation style farm. It's pretty cool. We'll get to that in a minute. You can see a few more items down here, but we're actually going to just walk through them all. So let's see. Yep, we have our vine garden. That's cool. It's nothing special. Everything here is just manual. We do have some semi-automatic farms that we'll be showing you a little later. But yeah, that is our first farm. That is the vine farm. Building next to the vine farm, I believe, is called an apiary. This is where all of our bees are. They are sleeping right now. We collect a lot of honey from over here. This is all manual though, nothing crazy. It's cute though. Yep, lots of fun. Lots of bees in there. Some of them have escaped. This guy is kind of just permanently stuck in this wall here. So hopefully we don't make him angry. Alright, so over here is our kelp farm. This is an fully manual kelp farm. There's none growing right now because I just harvested it, but we can actually go downstairs and check that out. So the way this works is you come down here, I like to try and leave the bottom stalk still growing so that it can go, and then it goes right up to the top. You get the idea. Alright, and then when you're done harvesting it, you can come all the way up top and just kind of walk down these paths and collect it. Yep, not super efficient, but it works. It only grows when I'm in this area though. So over here we just have some simple melon and pumpkin set up. We might change this design in the future, but currently this is here. I just wanted to have them out here. Like I said, my goal is to have every single growable item in this area. We do have some automatic pumpkin and melon farms in the castle, so we'll get to that later. Over here isn't actually a farmable item, but it is a farm. There is a skeleton spawner down here, and we've turned it into just a simple XP farm. We've actually built a gold farm, and it is massive and works probably the best source of experience in this world. So we don't use this unless we need bones or any of this stuff. Yeah, these are all pretty much full. It's pretty wild. We've spent a lot of time AFKing here, as you can tell. Okay, so that is the skeleton farm. We showed off the apiary and the melons. Next is the little wheat area. So all the way over here, this is pretty much just for aesthetics. Sometimes I sleep in this bed over here just to set my spawn point. This is a nice little area to kind of launch from if we're working in the farming district. So here's my little house. Pretty cute. Alright. We got some cats and some bees. There's not as much lava or fire in this area because most of the stuff is flammable. Although we might be changing that soon. So we'll check it out. Here's our cactuses, again, freshly harvested. Nothing crazy going on there. Just a cool little design. Enderman jumping around. Oh, yep, he's mad. Alright. Here is our chorus fruit farm. I don't know why we would ever need it. Can't hang lanterns from it, so I can't use it as a light source. But it's pretty cool. If we ever need it for anything, it's here. Don't have to go all the way to the end for that, so that's nice. Alright, up on this little raised platform over here we have our sweet berry bushes. Don't really use these for a lot of things. We did some experiments with a raid farm so that the pillagers would get stuck on the red berries. We did harvest some from here, but like I said, this isn't about efficiency. It's all kind of aesthetic in this area. It's just here to have in case we ever run out of any of these items. Um, Here's our little fishing shack. You can see it's got a little dock and our skeleton fisher. He's not actually supposed to be there. We also got a zombie fisherman. Alright, this is where I keep our beacon for this area. We're going to try and have the entire base covered so that we can run around real quick, but we still got some beacons to collect. They're all being used for other projects and mines and things like that. So yeah, we have our nether wart. If we do like a full harvest here, it's more than a full inventory, so it comes in pretty handy when we run out. Here's just kind of a little monument to the nether wart area. You can grab some stuff from your ender chest if you need to. Back here we have some mushroom farms. They look pretty cool from the aerial view. Plus, who doesn't love to have a bunch of mushrooms in their base? So, pretty fun. Here is a building that eventually will hold some of the items that we collect over here. We do have to build up a more efficient cow and sheep farm for this area because, as you can see, we only have like 4. It's fully manual. Nothing crazy, nothing special. If we do decide to use steak as an alternative food source, this building right here will house all of that. In addition to, you know, pigs, chickens, sheep, whatever we want to do. But currently this is unused. So, right behind our makeshift cow pen, one seems to have gotten out, is our tree farm. So over here, we just have every kind of tree in the game, but I'm considering tearing this entire thing down and redoing it, just because there's going to be some new trees in the game. Looking forward to that. Over here, we kind of just chop them down as we need them and grab the saplings. It's more for if we ever run out of the saplings, because we do have another area where we actually farm wood, but like I said, just in case we ever run out, we don't have to go find the biome. They're all just kind of right here. Alright, up here we have all of our renewable flower resources. We really don't need so many, but we like to have them just for fun. Okay. Behind that, this is a pretty cool design. It was going to be some kind of redstone design, but we kind of steered away from that. We just have random crops here. A bunch of bees, they go out into the crop area and harvest them, or they just kind of go to this flower here and don't help us pollinate our crops. Okay, but yeah, it looks pretty much the same on all 4 sides. This actually took a while for something that's just aesthetic, but that's okay. Yep. And then up here is like kind of just our farmhouse. It is actual storage for everything that can be farmed here. But we don't really need to farm any of these items. We've gotten a lot of them. We just have them here if we ever need them. So, yep. Up here is our kind of collection area where we can put things in there if we ever need to collect them here. I don't really see us using this anytime soon. You can go all the way up to the top of it, kind of see the farming district. Nice little view here. Yep, pretty fun. Okay. So, going back down, we're going to go check out the cocoa beans. Alright, so over in this area here, we have some cocoa beans on jungle trees. It's a pretty cool area. It feels strange walking through it, especially at night, because there's kind of light that's emitted from all of these cocoa beans. We will never need this many cocoa beans, but if we ever do, if we ever decide to use them in a design, we got them here in our little cocoa bean hut. Yep. As you can see, we haven't really harvested a ton of them. So we're going to get out of this area. I think that's pretty much everything for the farming district so far. We do have some unclaimed land for farms in the future. So this over here, just little areas. We're probably going to get rid of all of this, like I said, make a new tree farm somewhere else, and make some cow farms. So, yep. Oh, forgot about the bamboo. There is some bamboo back here, which we never farm. We have a kelp and bamboo farm set up in an automatic smelter over here. This is a very unfinished project. As you can see, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's gonna be massive. This area right here, I don't know what we're gonna put there. Maybe a second bamboo farm, because we seem to be able to collect a lot more kelp. So yeah, this is an automatic kelp harvesting farm. It's pretty cool because kelp is a great fuel source. This is not my design, but I'll put a link to the video down below. And it's actually paired with a bamboo farm. Again, I will throw a link to that video in the description down below, because it's definitely not my design. I'm not very good with redstone, but it's pretty cool. Once it's activated, these flying machines here actually run through and collect all the bamboo. It does the same thing on the other side and with the kelp. If we could just get out of here. Alright. Yep, so like I said, very unfinished area, but it's pretty cool. It is producing dried kelp though, so it's good enough for now. As you can see, random beacon here for some of the stuff we were working on. Yep, you just flip this lever off, I guess, and this one on. This activates the kelp, this activates the bamboo, and then they all get thrown into this very inefficient furnace system that needs to be remade, but it does produce a decent amount of dried kelp that we can use in our actual super smelters. So we're going to leave this area over here. This entire quadrant or district of the surrounding city area is pretty much unfinished, so there's not a lot here. We got a lot of work to do on the super mega furnace that we're going to end up building. Thinking it's going to kind of scorch the land and lots of fire and lava. It's going to be fun. Fun project for another day. Over here is our fighting coliseum. This is a solo world, so there's really no reason to have a fighting coliseum. I've thought about inviting some friends in the past, but we have it if we ever need it. Alright, we do have to actually make an entrance to it, because right now it's a Elytra only entrance. But yeah, it's a pretty big pit. Maybe we could throw some training dummies in here, and maybe we can siphon some mobs from the outer world to come and fight us. That would be lots of fun. But that's pretty much all we have in this district. This is going to be the industrial district. There's going to be a lot of mining spots and blacksmiths and stuff like that. So that's the goal for that. We're going to move on over to the last district, which is our trading district. Super proud of this district. It took forever. And it's still not completely finished like pretty much everything else. As you can see, there's a dirt railway coming from our villager breeder, just to kind of pop some villagers in this area, because we're still going to need a few more. We've locked some of the trades, but mostly we just let them roam around free, because there's no way for them to get out of this area currently. We have to build some entrance bridges. But yeah, this is a pretty cool spot from an aerial view. We have a bunch of different kinds of buildings in this area. There's actually one for every profession except for farming, because we'll get to that in a minute. We also have our dirt collection area. So we'll go through these shops real quick. First, on the left here in the red stained glass building, we have all of our weaponsmiths, or I think they're supposed to be blacksmiths, weaponsmiths. Oh well. but they're not all organized. We don't have them in trading cells. They weren't linking up properly. It just didn't work. It's a whole mess. Villagers are super broken. So we're just going to leave them here free to roam. Oh, I guess that wouldn't be very free. But yeah, all the villagers here, minus the library, are free to roam. We'll show you the library in a second. It's the most useful building out of all of them. This dirt rail's going to be removed eventually. So, in our giant dirt block, this shop here, this zombie villager here, he sells some dirt. So it's just kind of an infinite refilling dirt place. So yeah, we don't really ever need the dirt. As you can see, we cleared some out because it's refilling, but we just pop it in the top and it just kind of filters down. We don't actually buy any of these items because they're all dirt and grass blocks and path blocks and things like that. But when we find our inventory full of dirt because of terraforming or whatever we're working on, we can just come up top and throw it in the chest, and it siphons itself down. Yep, there we go. Boom, gone. Yep, so that's where we keep all of our dirt. Everyone needs a spot for dirt, right? We make a lot of it. Alright, so down here is kind of our... I don't know, it's just kind of a cool little dugout area where we put some of our villagers. I don't remember. I think these are actually the... Another weaponsmith. Nice. I think these are where the masons are supposed to be. The idea was they kind of come down here and dig out some of the items that they sell, but we don't actually have any masons down here. They keep getting caught on this fire and dying as babies, but I guess that spot right there is real bad. Alright, well, like I said, it's a project for another day. There's a lot of those. There's going to be quite a few unfinished places in this world. Yep. So another cool spot over here is the area where we keep all of our clerics. They are working on some sketchy stuff, but we buy potions of enchanting when we really need a level or two from them, or redstone lapis. They're pretty much useless other than their final trade, which is bottle of enchanting. It's expensive and we don't go through a lot of them because we have an XP farm, but if I'm like 1 or 2 levels short, it's always nice to come and collect some of those from these guys. Yeah, so over here is actually the most useful, the best part of this district. The first floor has still got some work to do, obviously, in that, but everything else here is finished. This is our library, so this is where all of our librarians are. They're all asleep right now. Don't want to mess up their links or anything like that. But it's super cool. You can come in and buy all these books. He might be broken. There's 1 or 2 that are broken, but for the most part, we can come and grab any enchantment that we need. They all have decent prices. We haven't gone as far to cure them as zombie villagers or anything, but they're all decent trades. This took hundreds and hundreds of villagers to come up with because Bedrock Edition villagers are tricky to deal with. Villagers in general are super tricky to deal with. Alright. So yep, that's our library. Pretty cool area. So next up, we have our next profession, which is the fisherman. So this nice little fishing terrace area with the purple stained glass. They're pretty cool. We actually, nope, there's no fishermen. So as you can see, they don't really hang out near their workstations too often, but when they do, it's nice to come out, except for the clerics. Clerics always do. But yeah, when they do, it's nice to come run over to whichever profession area we need and buy some items from them. This area over here isn't for the villagers, but I thought it fit in. It's an automatic wool farm. It's pretty efficient. There's 3 sheep. It automatically shears them. Then they eat the grass, and all of their wool is collected down here. We've used a lot of it. These chests fill up fairly quick if we're actually in this area. Got to do a little bit of AFKing in this area if we want them to breed, or not breed, I mean refill their wool rather. And then we have our mob head tower. Super cool. Um, I was thinking about building another one with some more heads, maybe some villager heads, but they're just so ugly. I don't know if I want that. But yeah, that's our mob tower. It's pretty cool. And then over here is where all of our villagers. Wow, we got a lot of different professions in here. This is a cool area. But it's supposed to be just these guys, the shepherds. So we can come by shears if we ever need to refill this thing, as well as they buy dye, which is really cool because depending on the dye, like cocoa beans make brown dye, so we can get a ton of emeralds from these guys if we want to, for just buying random dyes, and a lot of them are actually, oh, that's not even a guy. Yep. There used to be like 12 over here. Black dye, that's a terrible trade. It's the hardest to get. Yeah, so like say pair this with a cactus farm and we get a bunch of villagers, shepherds rather, that buy green dye, and boom, we got unlimited emeralds. So you just kind of have to filter through some trades there, and then lock the ones that you really want. But like I said, right now villagers are broken, so eventually it would be really cool to have all of the villagers with their separate professions in their separate buildings. But for now, we're kind of just stuck with what we have. All right, we got a creeper. This whole area is actually supposed to be lit up very well, so it's disappointing to see some mobs spawning. Obviously, there's some dark patches. Ooh, sorry about that. All right. Yeah, over here we have some of the professions that we don't use very often, like our cartographers. This kind of creates the cartographers of the area. A lot of nitwits. Yep, these guys are useful. They sell empty maps. They also buy paper, which is easily renewable. Over here in this little green building, we have our Fletchers. That's another cartographer. That's not a Fletcher either. Yeah, so the Fletchers, they buy things like gravel, I guess. Oh no, we sell them gravel. Sticks. Yep, sticks obviously are super easy to get, especially if we have some excess bamboo. He is a butcher. He is not supposed to be over here. But yeah, like I said, they don't get put in the right spots very often. Yeah, over here is what our leather workers. There's no leather workers in here. They never come upstairs, so I had to move all the beds downstairs. It's super weird, really confusing. Eventually, we're going to finish up all these shops. A lot of this stuff in this 1,000-hour build is not finished. We got a lot of work to do, but that's why I figured we would start our series now. Seems like a good time to finish up some of these projects. So feel free to leave me some suggestions in the comments down below to let me know what you'd like to see finished or worked on, or new projects altogether. And I'd be more than happy to work on those with you guys. All right, here's a map of this whole little area. So as you can see, we're right here. And then we have our gold beacon pyramid. It used to be diamond, so maybe we should fix that real quick. Yeah, there's only a few more areas over here to show you guys, and then we will get into the base. There we go. It's gold now. Alright, everything else I believe is the same. Okay, some of the cooler buildings that we have in this area sell some of the stuff we were planning on actually using quite a bit more. We started with the library. All the trades were linking. It was great. I was thinking we would be able to do something similar with every other profession. And then we moved on to our weaponsmiths that we showed you first, which were supposed to be blacksmiths, and they just stopped working. I couldn't get a single one to work. I don't know if I have too many villagers, or if they're linked to some of the other beds that we have in our base, or what, but it's just crazy. It's so hard to work with these guys. They don't sleep. They sleep sometimes. They don't link up to their professions. Like last time I was here, no one was in these buildings. No one, everyone refused to go in these beautiful buildings I built for them. Um, and now it's full, so it's super confusing. I don't know. Maybe if the mechanics of villagers change someday, we'll be able to do a better job in this area, which I hope to do soon. Okay, so over here we have, this is actually where our weaponsmith should be. As you can see, there's some stonemasons hanging out in here. There's a toolsmith hanging out in here. But yeah, this is where the weaponsmith should be. They seem to have traded places with the blacksmiths. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. We still got them. Alright, this one has a pretty cool upstairs area. So we're going to head up there. Oh, nice. Looks like a creeper explosion or something. Definitely didn't finish the staircase. But, yeah, it's got a really cool roof. In my opinion, I love the red stained glass. I use it quite a bit, just because it goes well with all the lava and fire in the other parts of the world. Cool. And then over here we have our toolsmiths. These guys do get used. Oh, I guess we have a cleric that we've traded with, and he's all the way over here. I try to only trade with them when they're kind of in their areas they're supposed to be, just to see if that makes a difference. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. Okay, we're gonna go upstairs. We're gonna check this whole area out. Yep. No, no villagers, but it's still a cool room. I was hoping, you know, they would go upstairs in some of these builds, but they definitely didn't. Yeah, we actually did each of these one at a time. So each building got set up with all the cells, and then we would move all the villagers over, try and link them. If it worked, great. If it didn't, we would just let them roam free. Yeah, that didn't work out, except for the library, which thankfully they have the best trades anyway, so that's the only one I was really worried about. Yeah, that's this area. It's pretty cool. We got a little bit of space left in this quadrant, so maybe we will expand or set something different up there. I'm not sure yet, so let me know if you have any ideas for this little area. Cool, so that is actually pretty much our entire surrounding base area. So I believe it is finally time to get into the actual base. Okay, so this is the entrance to the base. This is just one of the four sides. They're all the exact same on the first level at least, like this right here. They're all pretty similar. And I picked a great spot to showcase that with some floating trees. That's awesome. Okay, just gonna clear those up real quick and get into the base. Here is the entrance. Pretty happy with it. Kind of feels like you're being swallowed by a monster. Alright, we're gonna go up onto the base level floor, which again needs some more love. Here, this used to be an aquarium before I knew that if you put a kelp block down and bring it all the way up, the water flows the right way. So if the water didn't flow the right way, I gave up, I emptied it out, and now we have a giant hole in our first floor. So not super epic, but the rest of this is pretty good. We need to add some stuff, some more lava, I think, because there's never enough, or maybe fire or smoke or something. But we don't have a lot going on in this area. This is where we originally had some of our villagers that we ended up moving downstairs, which we'll get to in a minute. But it just wasn't the best spot because we weren't doing a lot of work on this first floor. So just some oh, I have to come back for those. Okay, let's check that one out. Nothing. Okay, weird. More pet cats. They just kind of spawn everywhere, and there's some rain inside because that's a thing. All right. Yeah, this is the first floor. Right here, we're gonna, I think, build an elevator system right going through the middle, so you can go to any floor. Right now, we have some some stairs, so stairs are always fun. Here's a map of the surrounding area. This is where we are. This is where we started, and the only one of significance is right here. We actually have an end portal in the first northern map. Uh, Really cool story about that. I was actually just doing some exploration. I filled in this map, and then the second map I went to fill in was this one, and I actually came across the end portal naturally with no ender, no eyes of ender or anything. It was super cool. It was in a uh, giant natural spawning crevice. Super cool. I'll show it to you later. But yeah, I just found that kind of just walking around exploring. It was super early on, so luckily I was able to get some shulker boxes pretty quickly. Um, yeah. So the only other thing on this floor, because they're pretty much the same on all the sides, is this super rare find I got. This is our naturally spawned pink sheep. I should probably name tag them just in case. Um, so we'll do that eventually. But I thought it was a pretty cool little spot for him. I don't think they're going anywhere, no matter how much this first floor changes. Um, he's not going anywhere. This is his home. All right, cool. I should probably show you the other side of the map, which is just our base area. Pretty cool little visual of the whole thing. You can tell which areas of the base have gotten some love. This one needs to be updated, but yeah, there's definitely some areas that need some more love. So pretty cool. All right. So this is the base level, like I said, and we're going to go down to the sub-level 1 and check out what's down there. Okay, so as you can see, we have this beacon going all the way through our entire base. I'd love to set up a few more so that we can get some more buffs, but not today. Alright, so to enter the first level, it's just a staircase, like I said. Yep, super high tech, I know. There's a second staircase that we originally had as the only staircase. Ended up putting one in the middle because, geez, it is kind of silly to come over to this corner, run all the way down, and then run all the way back up to get to the next level, which is where we spend the most time at all, which you'll see in a moment. So yeah, this is all of our automatic farms. We only have wheat planted here right now because we needed some wheat. But usually we have carrots, beetroot, potatoes, and wheat for harvesting. It's pretty cool. It's semi-automatic, so oh, that's funny. Okay. It's semi-automatic, so you press the button, and then all of the wheat and all of the seeds, or whatever you're growing, flows down towards you, and you can kind of just collect it. Super old school design. I mean, it's super basic. Um, I remember the first time I made one of these in my second world ever. I was super proud of myself. It was the very first redstone thing I ever did. So I pretty much put them in every world since. It's just kind of nostalgic, but we actually use these. We use these quite a bit for trading. The wheat and carrots and stuff, all those crops, they take forever to kind of make a profit on when it comes to emeralds. Um, so we kind of just go for more melons and pumpkins these days. We use this more for, we only use carrots in our world to feed the villagers with because we don't want them throwing around too many different items. So we stick with carrots. We also use the wheat for hay bales for smoke and breeding horses. We also obviously use it for breeding cows and sheep. So, yep, we're not going to plant that right now. You actually have to manually replant it, so that's kind of the downfall of it. I played around with some bees to see if I could get them to, kind of pollinate these crops, but they kind of just get stuck here or end up in random places. They don't like to help me out. Still got to mess around with the bees some more. All right, so the other really cool thing on this floor is every single corner area over here. As you can see, you got the potato area, the beetroot area. Each of these areas has a bunch of villagers locked in some cells, and for a long time these guys would trade me for a very long time. I was hoping that by the time we got to the 1,000-hour mark, they would all still be working. Yep, wishful thinking. Almost all of them have broken, but we used to be able to kind of just grind out some emeralds. By the time we would get through all of the villagers in every section, we could start over with the new one. So we could basically just keep going and going and going. We got lots and lots of emeralds that way. We're still running off the emeralds that we got from these guys. We got like a full shulker box full of emerald blocks that way. So pretty easy. And the way we did that pretty quickly was just by trading them lots and lots of melons, lots of pumpkins, because they're super easy to farm. So while I would farm them manually over here, we would increase production of melons and pumpkins by, ooh, still got a lot. We would increase production with an automatic farm over on this corner with our sheep and our cows. Just go up this little staircase here. Remember, this is all on the first floor, so it gets pretty cool from here. Yep, so we would either just AFK here and jump around, or we could come over and collect all of our pumpkins. Wow, they're still working pretty hard. For whatever reason on this farm, our minecarts like to just kind of despawn and disappear. Maybe we should set up some kind of clock or hopper clock so that they aren't always in use, because it looks like the constant use of them has caused all but one of the carts to despawn. So as you can see, I haven't checked on this in a few days. It gets a lot of pumpkins. It's not super efficient, but you know, it's just cool to always have some pumpkins. But if the minecart despawns, apparently you only get about a stack and a half, so not as cool. Got some redstone in the wall for some reason. Oh, it's the corners of our aquarium, because I thought it would be cool to use redstone, but it's really ugly and I don't know what I was thinking. The aquarium was a mega fail, but you know, we're going to try a different aquarium someday, I promise. And that was pretty early on in this world, so you know, learned a lot since then. Cool, so yeah, we were harvesting cows here for the longest time, but we needed a lot of black wool, and our wool farm AFKing was just not as fun as shearing them on the go, so yeah. Sorry, I know that's super loud. Unfortunately, we switched over to sheep, and I killed all my cows for some silly reason. Alright, well, I think that's enough of this floor. Here's the potato floor. This floor actually never worked. Yeah, none of these guys ever traded with me. So this floor, as you can see, is pretty much the least damaged because I don't do a lot on this floor. So this is how all the cells are supposed to look. Some of them I've definitely switched up a bit trying to get them to work, but I never tried to get these guys to work because they were cursed from the start. Alright, and down below each villager's cell area, we actually have some automatic sugarcane farms as well. So this is kind of always just working for us. We made this one pretty early on too, and whenever we need sugarcane, we just pop in to one of the 4 different areas. They're pretty cool farms. I mean, at the time I didn't have a lot of quartz, so I don't have an observer on every block, which is actually cool because it kind of is just like uses each of these pieces to kind of register when it should all like pop off. I don't think we're going to see it happen. You can make it happen. Actually, cool. So yeah, they all pop off, go into this hopper system, and it's super basic if you know anything about redstone. But yeah, they all come down here and go into this chest, and we have 4 of those set up in each area, so we pretty much have all the sugarcane we need. Sometimes we have to go over and manually farm it, but not too often. We go through a lot of sugarcane for paper for rockets. And moving on to the next level of the base, this is where we will be spending the most time in the game currently. I would like to maybe get rid of these fire pillars just so we have a clean runway. But I am happy with this area. Like I said, I spend a lot of time on it. It's been through a lot of modifications, a little bit of modernization right over here with the elevators, and we'll show you what those do in just a moment. But this floor is basically all about storage. So we store all sorts of things. Here is our crafting area. We made a new crafting area quite recently. That's one of those buildings out front with all the white glass and all the nether brick that we were kind of experimenting with. I'll show you that after. That'll be the last thing we see because it's the newest. Yep, this is where we do some enchanting, do some crafting. We got all these things here if we ever need them. Eventually, if those do anything. I assume that they will have a purpose in the future with netherite coming. That will be pretty cool. Yep, we have every potion you could get except for Potion of Weakness. We were using them all. We used all of our Potions of Weakness, even the one we had for the item frame. So, which is breaking one of my rules. You know, you put in the item frame, it should stay there forever, even if it's a efficiency 5 enchanted diamond pickaxe. All right, yeah, cool. So we have all this stuff. We use a lot of fire resistance for the nether. You know how it goes. And then we have some of our better enchantments that we had a surplus of, but we moved most of them. Or we've used most of them because we were trying to make a perfect tools box in our ender chest. So, see how far we got with that. Probably not, so this one should just have pickaxes and shovels. Yep, so we got all of our fortune, all of our silk touch. Yeah, we used a lot, and we lost a lot too, so we'll work on that later. All right, so we have all of our potions and enchantment books. This is where we can do some brewing. It'd be super cool if we could automate some brewing somehow, but currently we are not doing that. So, yep, here is our super smelter. So we just kind of throw some items in it there. I don't have any. Oh, throw some items in there. Instantly gone. This is for fuel, so maybe we'll throw some of that. No. There should already be fuel in there. Then they go down, they fill up some furnaces, and then eventually fill up this chest right here with all of the items we want to smelt. And it's super quick because there's like 11 furnaces. Yep, super quick. There's also a lock on it if I ever wanted to use it. I don't generally need to because it's not a ton of experience, but you can lock all of these furnaces, and then once you unlock it with the lever on the other side, all of the experience will pour out and you can collect it. So right now they're locked, right now they're unlocked. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little system. This is what we needed all of that dried kelp for over in the other district. All right, moving on. This is our storage floor, so we got to have lots of storage. We actually have two sides of storage on this floor, and I'll show you those out. These are pretty unorganized at the minute because we've been rethinking our storage system a little bit because I gotta tell you, I've spent way too much time filling up shulker boxes, doing whatever, coming down here and having to sort everything. And I hate sorting stuff. It just takes so long. And I like everything to be organized, so it's pretty frustrating when you just sit here and organize, sit here and organize. It's hours worth of not a lot of fun stuff. So I'm not too worried about what's actually in these boxes at the moment to show you guys. Here's our little tribute to all the zombie heads we've collected. Super cool. And then on the other side, I think it's almost a perfect flip-flop. So yep, pretty much the exact same, except for we need some more enchanted chainmail, I guess. Yep, just more chests with items. There's no redstone at all, it's just chests. We decided to upgrade a little bit, and I'll show you that in a minute. Here's my grab and go little station. So I grab all my shulker boxes if I fill them up, and I fill this one up. I throw them in my end chest. They're all kind of in different spots at the moment. Maybe we'll do a collection episode and clean everything up on the next one. Yeah, So that's going to be our exploration and construction chests. We kind of just swap back and forth. All right, here is our area where we keep all of our different kind of bulk storage items like dirt, sand, the ugly ones, andesite, we don't get a ton of this, but chiseled stone brick. We do get a ton of this stuff, just stone. Yep, we've been going through a lot, doing a lot of builds lately, so they're pretty empty. But as you can see, they filled up real quick. So I even had to install some more on the floor just to keep up with everything we were producing, all the mining sessions. Once we got beacons and efficiency 5, these chests filled up really quick. So yeah, as you would think they would. Yep, so that's where we keep all of our stone items. Sometimes if I have like one item that I'm just like, ugh, I just don't want to sort it, I'll just throw it in the lava. So, as I said just a moment ago, we actually decided to upgrade our storage system because it took so long to sort everything. So we moved to a new design again. Not the best redstone builder, so it's not my design. I stole it, but it's an item sorter. I mean, everyone builds the same ones, so whatever. But cool. So this is our item sorter input chests. We usually fill up quite a few shulker boxes, so we got 3 of them here. We fill them all up. It takes a few minutes for them to sort through if you have a bunch of items, but not a problem because we don't even have to AFK because we do so much stuff on these couple floors. Yep, so I got sick of sorting all the items, how long that was taking, and I got sick of the staircases, and actually thinking about removing all of them. So we switched over. We got a little high tech and modern with some bubble column elevators. Yep, we're gonna hop on down to our automatic item sorter. So we're kind of skipping 2 levels, but we'll go over this one. This is our automatic item sorting area. As you can see, it's quite extensive. We got a lot of stuff. We're still kind of working out the easiest way. I kind of just know where everything is, but we're still kind of working out the easiest way to quickly find items. That's the one part that's difficult with this. But yeah, as you can see, we sort all of these different kinds of items so that we don't have to take the time to figure out which chest they go into. It just automatically goes in there. So as you can see, we can just throw some items in any of them, or I'm sorry, throw some whatever items we want into the input, and then they get put into the appropriate chests down here. It's super convenient. It saved me so much time. Um, it just took like 3 days to build because I didn't have any iron at the start of it, and as you can imagine, there is quite a few hoppers. I think it's 144 different items. They have to be stackable items. You can expand this even bigger than this. I don't plan to at this time because I'm still just having fun, not having to sort anything. So that's completely amused me enough. We'll kind of like look into the redstone over here a little bit. Oh, yep. So, yep, you can see a lot of hoppers. Yep, and if you don't have any iron, you got a lot of mining to do. But yeah, it's super cool. All of these are locked once we decide which item is going in there. Currently, all of them are occupied. I don't plan on switching too many of them out, but we might eventually because I'm finding a lot of items that we still have to sort, and like I said, we're trying to get rid of that problem. Anyways, the reason we have these bubble column elevators is because we decided to do 2 floors above this before we decided to upgrade our storage. So it's kind of annoying when you have to sort items up here and then walk down almost 3 flights of stairs to get to your bulk storage. So we just made some elevators. Super fun. I like them a lot. I might add them to the entire base. Cool. So now we're going to go down to the next level. So this is the 3rd level down. This is kind of where our nether portal is. We have some issues with the nether portal being right here, just because it's in such a busy base with so many different like redstone components and farms, and actually villagers. There's lots of villagers in here. Here is our oh, bee's gone. Oh, looks like I tried to find him at some point. This was a mending villager. This was an unbreaking 3 villager. I guess they're gone. Um, But we still have some that work down here. Like I said, the villagers like to break their trades all the time. I think I have too many beds because there's a bunch of villagers up there for the farming area and a bunch of villagers down here that sell a bunch of cool books. So it was really nice to just be able to go upstairs, grab some emeralds from all of our farmers, and then come downstairs and trade the paper that would generate from our automatic sugarcane. We literally never had to leave the base. We never had to leave the base, and we could, go down to the bottom floor and get some diamonds, which I'll show you in a minute, and come back up here, and it was super cool. I feel like there was like a month at least where we just never left the base and we were just doing work in here, generating a bunch of different items. So unfortunately, all my efficiency 5 villagers in the whole world have broken. That's definitely a problem because, yep, we're starting to run out of tools. Yep, so we could come down here. We also buy a lot of lanterns because I don't know if you've noticed at this point, but it's all lanterns or end rods or glowstone. It's pretty much everything but torches. We really try to stay away from torches. You might find a few of them here or there, but it's kind of a goal of this world is to not have our light sources be torches, and if they are torches, to have them hidden from view. Yep, so super cool. That's pretty much it to this level. We got some of our armor stands over here because this was originally going to be the armory, and we were just going to make all of our armor down here. But with all of these books being broken, you can see why that might be a problem. So we didn't go ahead with that. We ended up moving it. That's the last thing I'm going to show you guys, so we'll see that later. Alright, cool. So now we're going to go down to the next floor. You can see there's a gate here because we have some villagers on the loose on this level. Even more villagers. This was when the villagers were all working fine, and I just kind of kept rolling with it because I wanted to be able to just trade whatever I wanted with these guys because we were generating tons and tons of emeralds for free. And, well, not for free because it's a semi-automatic farm. Yeah, we used to be able to come down here and trade for a bunch of different items. We had every single profession down here, minus farmers, in their cells, and it was really cool. It was a good time, but that right after I decided I wasn't gonna complete this because you could see it was a lot of work. That's when we ended up making the trade district and trying that style instead. Just letting them roam free instead of having them in these super comfy, cozy cells, I guess. Yeah. We ended up trying to make a bit of an art gallery. One of my good friends suggested this floor should be an art gallery. So I went for that instead. And as you can see, it's coming along. We still got some work to do on that part. But yeah, anyways, this floor I think we're going to end up eventually completely redoing. So if you have any suggestions on how we should make our art gallery look nice and artsy, it isn't a word? Okay. Let me know in the comments down below and we'll give it a go. Alright, we are going to move on to the next level, which is just our sorting system area you already saw. So yeah, we used to have to walk all the way down those stairs to get down here, so we put that elevator in place. Below that, we have a nice, stone gallery, and this is an unfinished floor. So yeah, we need some suggestions for what we should put on this floor. And then pretty much down below that, it's about the same. I mean, it's another floor with nothing, so that's 2 floors that we need some suggestions on. And the ground level. So the ground level I do have some specific plans for eventually, but the mining never ends, so that's what we've been using it for. We have some ice boat paths to some of our more successful directional mining, just some strip mines and stuff like that. Testing out some terracotta because we finally found a mesa biome, and I was super happy messing around with all those, and another super smelter, just so that we can kind of just stay down here until we have whatever resources we need. And I'm going to show you one cool thing about the mining area. I know it's, it's a mining area, woohoo. Um, but there's a bunch of different spots in this ground level. Whoa, that was cool. Where we have blue ice highways and stuff like that. But if you see these areas down here, you're probably thinking that's crazy. Why would you mine all of that out? I didn't mine any of this out. This was actually all dug out by the withers. We have thousands of blocks dug out by withers. It was a lot of fun. You basically just put different types of ores in your inventory, just like one of each of the ores you're trying to collect, summon a wither, and then just start mining, and it tries to chase you, and it blows up all of this area. So instead of locking him underground, what I did was I let him roam free underground, and he just got me like an entire inventory full of diamonds one time. We also got some steel that way. However, it does take some time, but it is like super effortless as long as you have really good armor, lots and lots of health, potions, lots and lots of food. It's super easy, and they do all the mining for you. I mean, there's tons of stuff I still haven't even come to collect down here. So that was just a fun little experiment that I probably shouldn't have done. This guy's annoying. Uh, I probably shouldn't have done right below my base, but we did anyways, because we like to live life on the edge, and that's the best way to live. Okay, welcome back to the top level. We're out of the dark dungeonous basement, and we are moving our way up to the upper levels. Yep, that's right. There's quite a few levels downstairs. There's quite a few levels upstairs. And at the very bottom, it's unfinished, and at the very top, it's unfinished. So you'll get to see that, I guess. We did have some skeletal horses somehow get up here, and I was trying to save them for later, so we put a fence up. But, ooh, okay. Yep, we don't need that there anymore. This is our throne room, because every good castle needs a throne room. This is a super cool floor because you can actually see out onto the entire base area from any side. Super cool. I did want this area to be pretty dark, just because it's the throne room of the evil-looking castle for the lava channel. So, yep, see, nice little balconies, pretty cool areas, nice views, cool stuff. So we're gonna check out the throne. Oh, we need that actually, since it's there, because there's no gunpowder farm. All right, this is the throne. Check it out, super cool. The beacon, for whatever reason, doesn't come up there. But yep, here's our throne. Pretty epic. Yep, pretty happy with the way this turned out. I've done a lot of different thrones, and this is definitely the best one I've ever made. Yep, so we can kind of sit here and rule over the land. All right. Yep, that's just the throne. We got a giant hole in the floor from our aquarium that we gotta fix, because that is dangerous. And then from here, it's all stairs. Gotta be careful flying around, because if you get stuck in that, you're probably not getting out. Yeah. All right. So now the floors get a little bit more dramatic. In size, just because, yeah, it's a giant castle. Everything here is giant. I don't know if we should add much more to this level. I mean, it's very square, so if you have any ideas, let me know. That's pretty cool. So you can see the top side of all those giant lava pillars. But this is basically like the gallery area of the castle, which is kind of really high up for a gallery area, but you know, I guess I just have to be loud sitting on my throne talking to everyone. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little spot to hang out and watch me make my kingly decisions. Ooh, that's bad. It's probably all this rain coming into my castle somehow, putting out my fires, and I didn't finish the lava. Okay, so that's a note for fixing them up. Okay, we're gonna move up to the next layer. It's a pretty cool level. Actually, you know what? I'm forgetting one thing. Hopefully it looks cool right now, but whoa. So we played around with shadows a lot on this floor, and just look at that ceiling. Pretty happy with the way that turned out. Um, yeah, it's a super cool. It's the first time and only time I've ever messed around with shadows in Minecraft, but yeah, pretty happy with the way that turned out. All right, we are moving to the next level. This is an interesting level. I was just kind of having some fun. Like I said, we were working on the shadow pattern for the ceiling of the throne room. So we just needed some lighting techniques up here to see how that worked out. And this is kind of what I came up with. It's pretty cool. I thought it was nice to have jungle trees. The tallest tree, I think. I don't know if the spruce tree is taller, but I wanted to have some really crazy tall trees in here just because you don't get a ton of tall trees in castles usually. Um, yep, that's really the only function that this level serves is for lighting the ceiling and for looking super cool with all this lava. All right. Moving on, we got the next level to go to. Where's the staircase? See, this is the problem with not having bubble elevators on every floor. The only thing is for these upper levels, I don't really want to mess around with too much, especially having a giant bubble elevator in the middle of the room. So maybe the staircase will stay on this level. All right, so up here is where we get into the stuff that still needs to be finished up. I knew I wanted to have a glass ceiling on this just because you could check out all the trees and stuff down below. However, this is pretty cool looking, but we got some work to do. So I'm thinking that we do keep it open, but yeah, it took a long time, and I was really just trying to make circles, um, ovals, I guess, and it turned into a really cool pattern that I like a lot. So we might just add some kind of lips on these next few floors, because I would like to have a bunch of floors. Just having a ridiculous amount of things or number of floors is something I like doing. But yep, you can kind of see. Yep, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it would look pretty cool from way up there as well. So maybe we'll have to do that at a later date. Cool. So other than that, we do have the outsides of this area that are just going to be those viewing areas we kind of went to check out the rest of the quadrants. Yep. I mean, it is what it is. It's just this cool little spot to look at everything. But that's pretty much it for the castle. Let's check it out. Yep, pretty much. This castle actually comes all the way up to the build height. That was definitely a goal to get it all the way up here. It's looking pretty cool. Whoa! Yep, it's looking pretty cool from up there. And I don't think we can even put another block. Yep. It's too high. Okay, well, there's a little bit of work that needs to be done on the outside here as well. It's looking plain and having a bunch of different cobblestone and stuff like that isn't really working for me. So I'm thinking more lava. You guessed it. And we are finally on to the very last thing. It's not the most exciting thing because I think the castle is pretty cool, but it is the most recent addition, so we're going to check it out last, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for making it this far if you have, and I really appreciate you guys watching my very first video. If you'd like to see more, I do plan to make a lot more content, so feel free to subscribe or like this video if you enjoyed it, which I'd really appreciate. But yep, on to the last thing. This is our new armory and idea station. So I was, just overwhelmed with all the ideas I was trying to execute, and I decided that we would forget about most of them, but not forever, so we could immortalize them by making some signs. So this is just kind of an idea board, and I didn't want to just throw some signs up on a wall, so I made this little I guess shrine shrine to my good ideas. Uh, it's pretty cool. I'm happy with the way it turned out. As you can see, they're not all full. As we complete them, maybe we'll have to come up with something else where we do something every single time we complete an idea. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Um, oh, we finished one. Check. So we'll have to come up with something. And that's a big one, Nether update prep, because we do not have a lot going on in the Nether. I'm not even showing that to you today, but we can work on it in another video. All right, cool. And check on that one. Finished our gold farm. All right, and the very last building we're going to be checking out is our new Armory and Enchantment building. Pretty happy with the interior. It turned out really cool. A lot of hidden lighting. It's very lit up in here. I've been messing around with the lighting a lot. Because you know, we're gonna have to with the new mob mechanics and spawn and despawning mechanics. There's gonna be a lot more mobs hopefully, which might make gunpowder farms possible, which is why it's on that. Anyways, this is where we enchant all of my favorite gear. So I kind of put what the enchantments need for each one, so we can say, all right, we're gonna make 3 helmets today, and we're going to put all of these things on it. I think that there's actually a few more things that need to go on it for each of the armors that we like, and obviously that's the best pickaxe in Minecraft. I think. All right. Yep. We got lots and lots of armor here. We put all of our armor in here, and all of these are unfinished projects. We put some of our half-finished projects in here, or just completely new stuff, so that we can finish it or disenchant it. All right. We have our enchanting area over here, some lapis and some books. If we just have levels to blow, we can just try and enchant some books and hopefully get some of these. That doesn't always work out, but sometimes you get really good ones. Like, yeah, well, sometimes you get good ones, sometimes you don't. But we've spent most of our good books, like, oh, well, got got some good stuff. Yeah, we got some real good stuff. Cool. All right. I think we even got efficiency. That's pretty cool. Yep, that's all of our books. And this is the last building. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Like I just said, feel free to subscribe or like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'd love to see you guys in another one. So, bye.